Hello, my friends. Welcome again to my podcast. My name is Carla Chandler, and it's always a pleasure to bring you conversations with friends, with mentors, with people of my integrative medicine realm that are talks that are constructive, that enhance our lives and assist us, bringing practical tools in the process that we are living in today in this transforming world. So today I am here with Karen. We met in an event that was a workshop over Rishwa's house. And Karen is going to bring us some of her knowledge on Qigong and how she comes from like a complete different realm into the alternative medicine programs and, as a healer, Reiki master and Qigong practitioner. It's my pleasure to introduce you to guys to Karen. Karen, the floor is yours. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm so grateful to be here. I'm so excited to be able to share this with you and with everybody here. So, my name is Karen, and I am a Reiki master and a Qigong practitioner. But my path here is actually a little different. I've always been very aware of my health and very aware of what energy does. But like most people, I was in the space of having a career, raising my family, raising my kids, having a family. And it wasn't until later in life that I really came to a point, through some painful experiences, came to a point that I realized I needed to go in. And it was time for me that the things I was doing and how I was taking care of myself and my energy, I realized at that point wasn't enough. I realized I needed to go in more. I realized I needed to connect more. I need to understand better what was happening and where was this pain coming from. The pain I was feeling wasn't physical, so I didn't go to the doctor. It was just this, it was spiritual and mental and emotional. So through that seeking is where I came up on Reiki and I came on to Qigong. And originally when I went into Reiki and Qigong, I wasn't looking to so much to heal others. I was really looking to understand energy better so I could heal. That was really my initial. Honestly, if you had told me at that time that I'd be doing Reiki sessions, I would say probably not. Because I was to bring this to others. So in my life, I've always volunteered, I've always helped others. That's always been kind of my guiding light. But for this, it was really to heal my pain, really to heal what I was going through. And I thought, well, if I can take these, go through Reiki, go through the Qigong, I can understand energy better, and I can understand what I'm experiencing better. And it really was a pathway into healing for me. And Qigong was a very significant part of that healing for me.
Awesome. So, how long ago that you start? I mean, you've been teaching at the VA hospital in Orlando for 4 years,
Yeah.
right? So, and prior to that, when was that your journey start as a, you know, Reiki first or Qigong first?
It was Reiki. It was Reiki first. It was just a few years before that, to be honest with you. And it's interesting how when you're on the path of something that you're meant to do, you're almost only just thrown right into that journey. And that's what happened for me. That's what happened for me. My great grandmother was a town healer. I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all. Even though she was into healing and there was a lot of knowledge there, that knowledge didn't carry through my grandmother and my mother because they actually kind of just shunned it. And so when I started looking into Reiki as a way for me to learn more, I started taking the classes. And it's interesting because I signed up for the Reiki classes and the placements. And even though I was signed up for group classes, the people would drop out, the schedule would change, and it would be just me, the Reiki master, and one other person. So I would end up having these private sessions.
One-on-one session, yeah.
So that's when I knew. That's when little synchronicities like that show that you're on the right direction. And then I remember talking to my mom about Reiki, and that's when she told me that, hey, your great grandmothers do this. This was something that's in your lineage. We just never practiced it. So it was through that I started Reiki, and then connected with it right away. Connected with feels how you're supposed to feel when you're in that space. And the idea of just slowing your mind down and let that energy channel through was really
Go through you. Yeah.
beautiful feeling. And then, so interestingly enough, as I'm taking my Reiki Master placement, that class, which is a weekend-long class, I ended up with one other couple, so me and another couple, and then the Reiki Master. At the third day of the class, the other couple started talking about a QiGong conference they're going to in town. A couple of that. And honestly, I did not know. I have to be honest, I didn't know much about QiGong. And
Very nice.
And they're like, why don't you go to this conference? I'm like, you know what? I'm in this place of seeking, in this place of understanding. I think that sounds like a great thing. So I showed up to the conference, which was given by Jeff Primack here in Orlando. So I go to the conference, and on the third day of the conference, Jeff Primack goes, since I'm in town, whoever wants to stay after the conference, I will certify you myself. So if you
wow.
I'll certify you myself. So I went to the conference and I stayed, of course. How do you
say no to that?
I passed, I stayed, and I got the certifications, went through that stuff, went through the studies, certification. He certified me. On the day that he's giving the certification exam and he's giving certifications out, a lady in the group says, hey, I work for the VA hospital and we're looking for young instructors.
Oh my gosh, that is awesome.
And I had not
incredible.
I mean, I've as in my career, I've ran groups, I've ran projects and things like that, but I've never taught a class before. But I thought, you know what? I'm gonna give that a shot. I mean, what?
Yes, awesome.
If you're looking, what better opportunity than to bring QiGong?
Yes, to learn and to share at the same time.
Yes, you know, and to veterans or people that have so many struggles, right? Through physical and emotional and mental and spiritual trauma they've all gone through. So I went and signed up, and then it took a while to get accepted because it's a VA hospital, you do background check, all kinds of stuff. And then I started my class, and a couple of months later, they went online, or after that, they went online because of the from the COVID. Went online, and so we've been online ever since. But I'm not kidding, I'll get 20 to 25 people in my class.
Oh my gosh. And it's just for the VA? Can you share with everybody else?
Just for the VA. I am looking to expand that out, but just for the VA. And it's really
that'd be amazing. Start a class, I'll be there.
As a volunteer. But
yes,
that's the thing about our journeys and about who we are. I mean, sometimes we get so tied to who we were because, you know, I was a software engineer. So you're looking at the dichotomy of an engineer, a software engineer, everything's like 1 and 0 and very logical and very, very specific. And then you look at energy and Qigong and Reiki and, you know, it's just free flowing and everything's possible. And so by going in and going out, and then I connected with that aspect, and we have many sides to ourselves, but we get so attuned to the side that we brought out, or our parents are brought out, or we think we should do, or the journey we should do, and we get so attuned to that. But if you step back and look, you realize there's a whole other world of experiences that are also there for you, and that's what brought me to QiGong, is opening myself up to these additional experiences that really are so different than the engineering field and running groups and projects like that. So it's really interesting.
So for me, I got into QiGong, I don't know, maybe I would say 5 years ago, 2017. It's been more than that. But I want an emotional healing. Right. I was like completely burnt out, and I hurt myself, and I had general physical pain. I was depressed. I was anxious. I was on the bottom of the barrel, and I had no reason to live. And then I started studying it, and I started looking into how I could move, and how that was just an energy that it was sitting in my body, and I could move that out of my body through through a technique, through a method, through specific exercises, through specific ways of breathing, through specific ways of moving that energy out of my body and bring in harmony, right? So I started doing inversion tables and qigong for, I would say, I mean, I didn't take a class or certification, but I had like a series that I, memorize it, and then I got to a point that I could just flow and, calm the monkey mind and, do certain movements that it would just like instantly kind of bring me back into my center.
Yep.
But it took years for me to get there.
Yep.
You know what I mean? How was your experience? Do you think that because you took the training, it's like instant, or it's a process that is a daily cultivation that you have to practice constantly?
It's a little bit of both. I wouldn't say instant. It's definitely a process. I think what made it a little expedited for me, for lack of a better word, is the fact that I felt such a connection with it so strongly, and then coming from Reiki, where you learn and about channeling energy and what energy means and how it heals and why it heals and how it heals, and coming from that into qigong, it was a very natural progression for me. As far as that I went through, when I get into that, took months. That took months and years to do the healing that I was looking for when I first did the class. When I first
Yes.
went to class, that took months, and really, I could say years. That took a long time. As far as connecting with what qigong is and what I knew was doing for me, I felt a connection with it. I felt a connection with it right away.
Oh, absolutely. And for me, a lot of times it's like I couldn't function if I didn't align. I got bioel because of it. And then, I mean, like I couldn't function. I knew that something was wrong with me. I knew that something was just like off track, and I couldn't explain it. I couldn't tell people. I couldn't sense myself. It was just like I was losing my mind.
Yep.
So then when I started understanding how the energy works, and I got the bioel, and I started doing certain exercises and certain qigong movements and scanning it, wow,
Yeah.
it's life changing.
But qigong brings you into your body. So even though you're going through the anxiety and the stress and the pain, even though you feel that you're feeling the pain because you're in your body, it's actually, you're kind of just all over the place. You're kind of feeling the pain, and you're seeing what's causing the pain, and you're at the end, and also you're getting affected by the energies around you, by what, it kind of puts you susceptible to being affected by the energies around you. So it's really just a number of things that affect you. So what qigong does is just brings you inside your body. And what's so good about qigong is when you're in that space of pain, and you're in that space of having to think about so many things, or trying to, in survival mode, when you're in that space, it can be hard to sit down and just meditate. That can be hard to sit down, sit still, and meditate can be hard. So what qigong does is, when you're in this space and you're moving your body, and you're focusing on your breathing, and you're moving, you're giving your mind something in a way to focus on. So now when your mind and you're as focusing on your movements, and it's focusing on the breathing, then you don't realize it, but your body chemistry starts to change. Your heart starts to slow down, your nervous system starts to relax. And then if you give yourself just a little more time in that space, then you'll see your mind start to calm down. So the movement, in a way, gives the mind a little bit of a distraction, a little bit of focus, to help you get into that meditative state. And that's what's so wonderful about qigong. And that's why qigong affects so many levels. It's at the mental level, the emotional level, spiritual level, because as your body slows down and calms down, and your heart comes down, your emotions calm down, as your nervous system also comes down, your physical body calms down, and then your mind calms down. So it kind of starts
your stasis, yes.
And then you can get into space of trying to bring that into alignment.
Yeah. Then you're connecting, and then your heart, your emotions, and your reason are connected, are in synchrony. One is not taking over the other. They're harmonized, and the whole system harmonizes. Yeah. Oh, you need to start an online class for us. Let's record it. We can record it on Zoom. Not that's the privilege of the VA. We can definitely use some of that help. So, do you do a lot of? I mean, obviously, it's just for the most part, it's a standing meditation. But there's some, let's say, like a practical tool that you use it all the time. I mean, like I do have a few things, like the monkey mind kind of thing. Like sometimes I'm just like wherever I'm at, I'm go just because I know what the heck is going on inside. Do you have that incorporated through your day all the time? Any tools to share?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And it depends on where you're at and what you're doing. I definitely do Qigong every morning as a way to get myself and my body going for the day. So I do Qigong every morning for 10 minutes. And that's what's great about it. You don't have to do a full session. You can do 5 minutes or 10 minutes and just give a way for your body to kind of wake up. That. And then also in the evenings, sometimes it's a relaxing Qigong. So the great thing about Qigong is that you can really focus your intention with Qigong. And there are many different ways to focus that intention. And when you're doing the movements, you can do Qigong and you can start movements that get your body going, that get you energy and get you ready for the day. And at the end of the day, you can do movements that help calm your body down, that helps calm your mind, calm your body down, and get ready to go into kind of the mode of resting. So there are different things that I do. I definitely do in the mornings. I like to do the knocking on the door of life, which is you tap your front and tap your back, and you turn up the hip, and
like a candle. Yeah.
Tap your front and tap your back, and then tap at the chest, and then tap at the shoulders, neck, and that's a great way to get your blood moving, your chi moving, your focus moving, and that would be a great thing to do in the morning as you're getting yourself going, getting that energized, getting yourself energized for the day. Definitely a very important thing is drink a cup of warm water before that, because Qigong will get your lymphatic system running, going, moving, the body's well hydrated, and those are great ways to start. And then obviously, always the main thing about the movements is kind of think about how you bring energy and what your intention is when you bring the energy around you. So bring the energy up and bring it to you, and think of the energy as a nice warm sun in the morning. So picture yourself grabbing a nice warm, the energy of the sun warmth, and just bringing it to you. And just as you come down, you visualize yourself just filling yourself with a nice warm sun. So that's a great way to get yourself energized. And then once you are doing a few movements and you're feeling that energy coming in, then what you just want to line for the day. So you can bring a hand up, the bottom hand facing you, and then you kind of gotta align yourself.
All right.
So as you do your movements, then you want to align yourself and get yourself ready for the day. Align and ground.
Oh, and this exercise is so evident on the biowell. It's super cool. Yeah.
Yes, you really, really feel that.
Yeah.
Yes. And take a deep breath, and then just breathe out and visualize that line coming down from your wisdom and your heart and your vitality, which is your upper dantian, your middle dantian, and lower dantian, which it's Qigong. So you visualize that and you're bringing that in, you're lining them. Your wisdom, your love, and your vitality. And then the other side, the same thing.
That is amazing. That is just like reset anytime.
Yes.
It's so powerful. Yeah. Yeah. So when you work with the patients at the VA, do you work in a sequence every time? Do you work different things like for energize, for anxiety, or you always have the same routine, kind of like what Masaji has, which is kind of like how we met.
Yes. I do something different every time, and I follow my intuition a lot. I follow my something different every time. And I kind of really pick up what I feel the group needs. So there are different aspects to Qigong as we talked about. So there's definitely the type of you kind of relaxing yourself and connecting and bringing that energy in. Then there's also what I call strength Qigong, which is Qigong focused on strengthening your body and your core. So the way that works is your brain doesn't know the difference between you thinking about doing something and you actually doing it. So the thing of picture yourself picking up a piece of lemon and biting into it, and your shoulders feel treat, right? Because your brain doesn't know the difference. So strength qigong is also about doing qigong movement, but visualize the energy ball of qigong being heavy. So as you do those movements and visualize that ball being heavy and turning it up and pushing that ball up, and just feel that ball being heavy and then come down. That's actually giving your muscles, engaging your muscles. What I in qigong, and that also works because your muscles don't know you're not lifting actual weight. It doesn't know the difference. It just knows that, hey, I need to strengthen up. I'm lifting something heavy. My brain is telling me the message coming from the brain is I'm lifting something heavy. So if you tell the brain, so we'll do strength qigong in different movements, and then we'll also do qigong that's focused on healing. So we'll also focus actually on specific organs. So sometimes we'll focus on the kidney, or we'll focus on the pancreas, or we'll focus on the stomach. So some classes are really focused on healing and very intentionally healing a specific part of the body. And maybe that's somebody in the group needs something the group needs, and I'm picking up on it. Which is also another wonderful thing. When you're in a group setting like that, you're building your own qigong energy and cultivating your own energy, but you're also cultivating communal energy. So when I start the class, every time I start the class, I take 5 seconds. I have everybody bring their hands together, take a nice breath, activate their heart energy, and set an intention for the class. Everybody their own intention of what they are looking to get out of the class, to heal. So we all take 5 seconds to an intention. So then we come into this class with a collective intention of what everybody wants, and then we're sharing that and giving that to each other. So it's really a wonderful thing to do that. And that's when you do the qigong, take a few seconds before you start. Bring your hand down to your heart, activate heart energy, and set the intention for the qigong. Even if you're gonna do it for a few minutes, what's your intention for the qigong? What's your intention for the day? And set that as the base of how you're gonna carry out the rest of your day and your routine.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. We have practiced a lot, but set the intention. Normally I would walk, from my house. There's a trail not too far. I would walk like 20 minutes, and there was a place where nobody would go there, so I walk into the trees, and then I had that little spot in there that I would just, take the videos and practice and then come back. So it obviously it worked. But when you start setting the intention, and then on that specific organ or that specific issue, and that pain or physical, emotional, or mental distress, amazing. So, and then, but you still work as a software engineer.
Exactly. I straddle these two worlds. But it's interesting with software engineering. What's interesting about software engineering, and I'm in this space from consulting, so I get to be more on the creative side of actually writing software. But what's interesting about writing software is that writing software can be very creative, because you're building something, and you can see what you're building right away. So I get to use my left brain and my right brain for it, but I still do straddle both worlds, which is interesting, to be honest with you.
I mean, for me, it's fascinating because I start looking into like the technical part of it, right? I went to school, and then I'm like, oh, they say this works. They say this qigong thing here aligns your energy, and you can bring your body to homeostasis, doing different movements and breathing in certain different ways. And I'm like, okay, that sounds easy enough. What is qigong? And then and then you're like, voila. So But in the practical, like during the day and during the whole time, you see how all the it's not it's like you're dripping water in the cup, and then if you stop, it stays there. You don't lose it.
Right.
The exercise, the connection that you make while you're working, the energy in your body, you don't lose it. When you need that, you can go right back to where you drop off, and you pick up and you start building it on top of it. It's amazing. At least
Yes.
that's my that's my experience.
Yes, it is. And yes, if you're, for example, at work or you're in a stressful environment and you're feeling the stress, feeling the anxiety, you can sit down. You may not be able to get up and walk out and go somewhere. You may be in a
Yeah.
job. You can sit down and close your eyes and visualize yourself doing the movements, and visualize yourself slowing the breath and doing the movements. That will also give you the benefit. So you don't
Oh, we're gonna test that with the equipment.
movements if you can't. If you can sit there, let's say you're at your desk, you can't get up, you're not in a position where you can leave, but you're feeling the stress, you can take a moment and just kind of bring your hands up a little bit and just visualize yourself being outside with the sun, with the grass underneath your feet, with the sun, visualize the trees next to you, and then just visualize yourself doing the movements and take the breath. And you'll notice that you're also going to help your body slow down. And you're also going to help your mind calm down. You're going to help your heart rate come down. If you can do that just for 30 seconds or even for a minute, you can do that. You will notice the difference. You can open up your eyes and get back to the work that you're doing. But that will help you bring a little bit of that tune in and that peace back in your body and help release some of that energy that's stuck with you. And you visualize that.
Amazing, amazing. This is super cool. Super cool. I went right back to the place where I start practicing, and it's just like it takes you right there.
And something that I do in my classes that I feel people have connected with is I actually have them visualize themselves leaving the space they're in and go out to an open space on earth and connect with the different energies of the elements. So when I tell people to do Qigong, for example, when I tell people like to come up, I tell them, come up and grab a ray of the sun and bring that sun down to you. Or come out and visualize yourself in the lake and just swim, do the breaststroke and swim. Or take a walk. So I tell people to visualize and connect with the energies. Look down and look at your feet on the ground, and look at your feet look at the grass and look at the trees around you. And as you connect with those energies, that will also help kind of recharge your body and calm your mind and connect with her. So I have people through class, and I even make fun. People have been with me for years know. So after we do our intention, the first thing I say, we'll start our movements, and I'll say, okay, you guys know this is time to take our trip. We're leaving now. So I want you guys, I want you guys to go out to open space, out to earth. And for you, that might be the beach. For others, might be a park. For others,
mountain.
woods.
Yeah.
I want you to see yourself out there. I want you to see the sun up in the sky and the blue sky. I want you to see the dirt or the grass or the sand if you're at the beach. So part of the Qigong class and part of what I do with Qigong that I feel is also something I connect with is I bring in the energy of the elements. So I always tell people like, okay, you're holding a ball of fire, or you're moving around water, or you're a bird flying up into the mountains. And that also helps people visualize that, and it helps get them into a meditative state. So when you're
like the avatar, the airbenders, the firebenders, the waterbenders.
Exactly, all of that.
Exactly.
Yes.
Wow, that is amazing. That's amazing. Incredible way that I look at the cartoons, talking about, the avatar and the firebenders and all this. It's real. You know what I mean? It is real. It may be a cartoon, but that's exactly, a clue that we have. So I start looking into all of this with like completely different eyes. So
yes,
I love it.
And that's the thing. I mean, that you can when you're in this space where you're visualizing yourself out there, you can visualize yourself however you feel the most you connect with. So, like you said, the firebender, you can visualize that energy, and if that's what you're connecting with, then that's it. You can visualize yourself. So you can be outside doing those movements. You can be at your desk, taking a 5-minute break, closing your eyes, and seeing yourself out there doing those movements. All that has also benefits.
Yeah. Wow. That is awesome. So teaching qigong, I mean, it pretty much, I mean, for the VA, patients, you are sometimes talking to people that they don't have limbs, they have their legs amputated and different things, but through this exercise they are
Yes.
wow.
Yes, because you can do it sitting down. Most people do qigong standing up, but like I
Yeah.
was before, if you're at your desk, you can visualize yourself doing the movements. You can sit down and still move your arms, so and you can kind of focus on your breath and visualize the energy coming in and aligning with it and things like that. Or if I had, for example, one veteran had his shoulder surgery, so he could really move the shoulders a lot, but he still showed up to class and he moved little bit that he could move, and then when he couldn't move, he would just focus on the energy and bring that in. So, and I don't work directly with the patients. They are patients. We're in the online portal, but they're all right there, and then they can definitely adjust. And that's the great thing about qigong. So the great thing about qigong is the movements don't have to be so specific for you to get the benefit. It's really your attention. So as I'm doing the movements, I tell people, hey, modify this movement however you need to modify for you to be able to connect with it. Because I'm more interested in then connecting with moving and with the breathing than I am in then doing the movement exactly how I'm doing it.
In the right angle, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yes, that is magical about this exercise. And I mean, that's why I put in the name for the channel, the 3M core, for mindful moving meditation, because that is what it got me moving again. It was qigong that transformed, I mean, a lot of my emotional, physical, and mental healing. So for stress management, I mean, for panic attacks, I used to, I mean, struggle a lot with panic attacks. I mean, like, I looked like nothing was going on, but inside of me my heart was pumping, my stomach was turning. As soon as I finished that situation, I would throw up. I mean, I was just chaotic. And then I start learning the breathing part of it, and I'm like, no, I don't need to carry that, and I don't care what people thinking around me. I'm just doing this.
Yes.
I'm just doing this. I don't care what you think. Excuse me. I just need this. And that was, but I was like breathing, into the process, and just stopping it, and then, you know, try to recover my emotions, try to feel, my, like, okay, why am I feeling? Because there's so much overwhelming. What am I thinking? And then breathing, and then, okay, now I'm back.
Yeah. And one thing, there's
Heartbeat is right. The pulse is, under control. Yeah.
yeah. And I think with qigong, sometimes you're so overwhelmed with what you're feeling that it's hard to get into that state, even think clearly, right? But there are some qigong movements, for example, where you can literally, for lack of a better word, throw up that energy. And I've actually used that at times where I just felt the stress, anxiety just overwhelming me a little too much, where the idea of thinking through it and rationalizing and calming myself down just wasn't. So, for example, what I do is I bring my hands to the front and I picture myself sitting in front of a waterfall. So I bring my hands to the front on top of each other, a little bit of space, and I picture myself in front of a waterfall. And then I start pushing up against that waterfall. As I just let that fall, and it's almost like I throw,
Yeah.
throw that energy into love. Throw it up into the ground, throw that energy into the ground, and come back up and fill yourself with that water from the waterfall. As you're at the top, just throw it. Just throw it out. And then
Awesome.
that 3 or 4 times, you start to feel kind of that feeling of feeling overwhelmed just calm down.
Yeah.
That because sometimes you don't have to really. You just have to throw it away.
Yeah.
Just throw it away.
Oh yeah. Let it go.
Let it go.
Yeah.
And once you're done and you feel like you've kind of breathed it out, you're throwing it out there, and then you kind of take a breath and then spread your wings and just open yourself and feel that water just wash it off. Because remember, you're still by the waterfall, so
Yeah.
step into the waterfall and just let it wash down.
Oh wow.
So first, you're using the energy of the waterfall to kind of just throw out that energy and get it out of your body. And once you feel you've done that, you step into the waterfall and just let that just wash down your body, wash down your heart, your soul, down your feet, and just cleanse you and then bring that peace. So those are 2 quick movements that you can do when you're in that moment overwhelmed. You can do those 2 movements and visualize yourself on a waterfall, and that can help you turn that feeling.
Awesome. Awesome. And I mean, it's so many different movements, so many different things that you learn, and then when you start practicing, when you need that kind of help, automatically you start remembering, like, oh, I need to open up, like I need to
Yeah.
surrender. And you start remember the sensation that the energy, like it's like emotional intelligence. It's awareness, right?
Yes.
It's awareness. You see, there is an energy stuck in my body somehow, and I know how to get it out of there.
Yes. And some things require different tools, right? Sometimes
Exactly.
you have a little spill on the counter, you can just grab a cloth and clean it. And sometimes you have, some stuck cement on the side of it, and you need a little harder chisel, So,
Yeah.
little different moves that kind of force different things.
Yes, yes. And you need to you start learning how to apply, like the different tools and identify the moments.
Yes.
So that automatically, like you start walking in presence, like in like what is going on with me, why is there's a stagnation there, why am I feeling this way, how can I do this, is that coming in from now because of my somebody cut me in traffic, or that it's coming in from like 5 past lives and I need to dive dip in and spend hours breathing through this spot, you know what I mean? Back to qigong and the tools and the practical tools that we were sharing. um which one is your favorite, Karen? Which one do you think that you use it the most?
Well, it's interesting. I think there are different ones depending on kind of where I'm at mentally. I mean, definitely my favorite, the ones that I do every day, are definitely the knocking the door life,
Yeah.
bring energy, aligning myself. And if I'm feeling a little heavy, I'm feeling like I'm going through something emotional or just a little overwhelmed, then I'll do the release, and then I'll breathe back in, breathe the water back in. But as far as other aspects of qigong, another aspect is also we get into this space of kind of closing ourselves in because there's so much going on in the world, and as we close ourselves in, sometimes we feel that we forget our own strength. We kind of forget our own strength, and we kind of forget the courage that we have, because the life can be a little overwhelming outside. And sometimes when you do that, and I like to visit the hospital, is there are moves to help you kind of connect with your inner strength and open that up and release, or bring that out to the world, and also use that to create kind of like an energy protection around.
Like a feud, like a biofeud.
Yes.
Huh.
One of those moves that I like to do is I'll bring my hands up, take a nice breath together, and I'll breathe out, and I connect with my inner strength, connect with my inner core. Then I take a breath in and bring the hands out, and I move mountains.
Okay. Ouch.
And feel that pressure, feel that tension as you're moving.
Yeah.
You come down with empty lungs. Then do that again. Breathe in. And then breathe out and connect with the inner strength, inner core. And take a breath in. That's also a great way, a great move to do if you're feeling that there are obstacles in your life that you're having a hard time overcoming. You can visualize that obstacle energetically and then breathe in and out and connect with the inner strength. You take a breath in and you push mouse. And then also similar way, you can breathe in and bring your hand together. Bring one to by your chest and one front. Take a breath in and then push.
Oh, on the side.
And feel that strength. And you're pushing. And then creating kind of like a barrier for yourself. And you breathe in, out. And then when you're doing this, you're connecting with your inner strength. That strength that you have. Breathe in and out. And that way you're connecting with your inner strength and bringing that strength and kind of the courage that you have out into your aura, into your area, into energetic area, energetic space.
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. Just like a little movement, just like changed the whole thing.
Yes, it really
That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. Very cool. So that is part of your daily routine as well.
Yes, I switch them around depending on where I'm at and what I'm feeling and what I want to connect with on that day. But yes, those moves that I've been doing are the ones that pretty much are my staple for different days.
And not that many sequences. I mean, if you do it in 10 minutes, like 3-4 sequences of each, and you are ready to go.
Yes, really, that's all it takes. And that's what's so great about it.
Yeah, you don't have to be there for hours trying to align yourself.
Right. Worry about trying to sit in meditation and calm your mind and that fighting the monkey brain. You can just focus on the movements, focus on breathing, and you'll naturally your mind will naturally start to slow down, and that monkey brain will start to calm down just naturally. So you don't have to fight it. You can just guide it.
Yep. I mean, I do a lot. I go for a walk, do the QiGong, or sometimes just do the QiGong and then go for meditation. Because then I'm centered. If I can't sit down and stay still to meditate, I'm like, okay, come down. And how do I come down? Okay, then I start feeling, like I have a few videos that I like, but there are a few movements that it's kind of becoming a little, like my signature. There are things, like bringing all of the energy, around and washing it, over you. And that's just like picking it up all the way from the bottom, like from the spring, the fresh water, earth, connecting with the water in you and just like washed away and, like wash the nervous system in the back. Oh my gosh, this is probably one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah, it's like, oh, my brain, my heart are connected. They are one. I'm one.
Exactly.
I can speak my voice. I can speak up. It's amazing. It's delicious to experience yourself, Yeah.
Yes.
Connect with our energy, with the vessel, with what we are. We like the cell, with the DNA, with the the core of the being, instead of just in the automatic, routine of life, of work, of days of the week, of meetings or responsibilities and all of this. And you're just like, okay, now I can do all of this, but I don't lose myself anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, it's also connecting with yourself. It's also connecting with the energies around us, because there's so much for us to gain from that. So as you're doing Qigong, I feel that there's a lot to benefit in thinking about, okay, thinking about yourself in water and the calming effect that water has. Think about yourself with the sun and the fire. And sometimes we need that, the sun and fire and a little energy, like burn energy to get through the day. Think about the grounding effect of earth and connecting with earth and connecting with the trees, and the freedom of connecting with birds and flying, and just kind of giving yourself a chance to just fly above everything that's happening that you're going through, and be able to give yourself a chance to see it from a different angle. So that's the thing about Qigong, is that there's really, when you're give yourself a chance to incorporate the energies of the earth into your practice, then you can use those energies. So you're not just using your own energy, you can also benefit from those
nature, the natural resources.
Yes, because those resources are there, and we connect with them, and we forget about it. But if we go and actually have an intention to connect with the grounding effect of a tree, and connect with the fire of the sun, and connect with the freedom of a bird, then you're giving yourself energy, and then that's also kind of filling your energy to be able to take on whatever it is that you're trying to take on or get through that day.
Amazing. I did a few exercises for mental clarity too. That I haven't done those in a while, but I'm like, oh, I need to get back to that.
Yes.
Been a lot recently, just intense, being able to observe what's going on, and like finding the solutions instead of dwelling in the problem. Just like, okay, let's just push through it. Don't, this is an emotion, okay, that is just a thought. Let just go, with your mission, your channel, your vassal, and just like stick with, your flow. And when I did that mental exercise, it was like, wow, this works. So what do you got? What is your favorite for mental clarity?
Well, for mental clarity for myself, it's definitely the alignment, but also a lot of times when I find myself kind of struggling with that mental clarity, is because I am not flowing, So a lot of times what I do is I put my hands together right by my heart.
Okay.
And then I'll see myself flowing through, coming from the heart.
Yeah, like swimming, like Dory. Yeah.
Swimming, coming from your heart.
Yeah.
Then you're also, as you're going down this river and swimming, you're also noticing that whatever's around you, you're not internalizing it. You're letting it flow by you. So part of Qigong is to flow and let things flow by you and not internalize. And when you do that, you get into a state of flowing. As you start to flow with the energies around you, and as you start to move forward, you'll also notice your mind start to calm down, because now you're coming from your heart. You're not coming from your mind. So what you're doing is you're taking kind of your focus out of your mind into your heart. You're coming into your heart, get into that flow state. Then as you do that, then your mind starts to calm down. And then once you do that, then you go back and focus on alignment. You get back and release, and then align. But what helps is get yourself out of that into your heart and into your heart energy, and then bring that out and have that be your guiding light to flow through what you're going through. Because it's tough.
Yeah.
You're out of alignment. It's tough to get into alignment in the same space as creating the out of alignment. So what you want to do first is get into your heart, and then just start flowing.
Flow.
Space, and then once you're out of that space that's creating the lack of alignment, you can get yourself back into alignment.
Awesome. I'll be swimming more often.
Well, and then you can swim to the other side of getting out.
Yeah.
And have fun with the waterfalls.
Awesome. Started as a sardine, when you see you're like a shark, a whale. You go.
You're really
flowing. Atlantis.
Exactly.
Amazing. Wow. Very, very Very beautiful exercise. Very beautiful. I mean, I hope you guys are, joining us. I'm so into it here that I forgot to say, hey, let's do it, but I hope you are. And for me, it's life changing. It's life changing. Qigong, it started more for my mental health, you
Yeah.
know, and then I mean, there was times that I was like practicing, and then I thought I was gonna feel better, and then I would go home, and I thought I was feeling good, and I would just get in the shower, and I was just like, I need to cry.
Yeah.
Once I need to cry, but I'm gonna cry, and just released it, and then it was like, wow, that was what it was missing. Now I'm feeling great again. The stress is gone, like I'm not angry. Am I still annoyed when somebody tried to call me for insurance or something and I pick up the phone? A little bit, but I don't curse them out anymore. You know what I mean? Get my name off the list. No, can you please get my name off the list? And it's just, I'm like, look, it works. You know what I mean? Just life goes easy and you start noticing, like in
Flow.
the small thing. Yeah, the flow in small
That's
things.
flow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Definitely.
understand it's your job, but please don't call me again. Please, I know you're doing what you gotta do to put food on the table. Don't call me again.
Oh God, I know. And that's the thing you're talking about crying. And I think people underestimate the power of crying. And I think society people don't cry, especially
Yeah.
men, women, and we see crying as a weakness. But really crying is so powerful when it comes to releasing. Because crying, when you cry, you have tears, but if you really focus, crying, you're feeling it in your whole body. I mean, your energy in your whole body is moving, and it moves you crying, and then you're releasing it because you're releasing tears, releasing it,
Washing it.
breath, you're releasing it in your movements of crying, and crying is a very powerful way to release energy in a healthy way. So definitely,
Oh
definitely.
yeah.
I guess your whole body. I guess your whole body doing. It really does.
Yeah. And now I tell my son, like I say, I just need a little crying therapy because when he was little, like I gotta be the mom, I gotta be the dad, I gotta be the strong one. I didn't want them to see me upset, so you kind of like you pack that in, right? You pack that in, and then you look at yourself in the mirror. You're like, who are you?
Yes.
Who are you? Who are you? You know what I mean? Because you've been trying to be something that you're not designed to be. Try to teach the boy to be a man. I'm not a man. You know what I mean? And then you like suffer all of those guilt things and all of that. I'm like, no, no. I just,
And I had
who I am. I want to cry right now. And I'm vulnerable. And I need this moment. It's not going to last too long, but I got to take that moment.
yeah. Well, that's the
I'll
thing.
wash my face in a little bit, but right now, I just want to cry.
I had a similar experience of what really kind of guided me into the Reiki and Qigong was a very similar experience. I had a situation that it in itself wasn't, it was a heartbreak, and it in itself wasn't really that big of a deal. But what happened is it came at a time in my life where it opened Pandora's box of of
Yeah.
hurt from my whole life that I had never processed. So once that Pandora's box opens of hurt that go back years and years and sometimes ancestral, that
Yes.
it's of just your physical, mental, spiritual, emotional pain. And then that's when you find that Qigong and things like this really have such a good way to help you manage that, to help you navigate that pain, to help you release it, to help you kind of come
Absolutely. Yes.
and
That's my experience too. Yes.
yes, and you store hurt in different parts of your body. There, the energy of certain pain and hurt are stored in your kidneys, some are stored in your liver.
Absolutely. Yes.
So then with Qigong, you pay attention to focus on this. If you have a little understanding of what the pain is and where you might be storing it, you can focus on that and breathe in and breathe it out and focus breathing into it and then breathing it out and releasing it and facing it, really honoring it. More than facing it is honoring.
One thing that it was fascinated for me in school was to find the connection between the different healing modalities, right? The different integrative medicine tools to heal the body, to heal the emotions, and the mind, and the connection with the soul. And there's a doctor in Germany, Dr. Harmer, and he developed this method or this map, this chart, that it helps you to identify what is the root cause of the stagnation or
Yeah.
the cancer, right? So if it is in one side of your breath, it means one type of trauma. If it is in your ovaries, it's a different type of trauma. If it's prostate is in a different type of trauma. So when you look at that chart, and if the patient already knows what they have, right? Let's say it's prostate cancer. So, and you look at the chart and then you talk to it and say, hey, those are the emotions that have that energy, and that is the place that energy normally stays. That's where it goes. So if you move that emotion and if you move the energy out of there, then you have much better chances of healing yourself. And that's, for me, is the beauty of the integration, with moving the energy and using the allopathic medicines or the treatment. And maybe you don't even have to use that many, you know what I mean? But
Right.
it's part of it, it's a tool to amplify and to help you to identify the root causes of it. And then with qigong or with Dr. Harmer's maps, or with the combination of different integrations, you can say, okay, I'm going to work that specific emotion because that is the emotion that causes a tumor in my brain. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's fascinating. It's fascinating.
Yes, it really is. It really is. And also with Qigong, I mean, another great thing of Qigong is that it is energy and it is intention, right? So you can actually send energy to somebody else with
Yep.
Qigong. And we do
Yes.
that class that I teach also. Part of the intention is like, we can send energy out to release it. So as you're doing the movements and you're bringing the energy in and out, you can visualize your heart and then out. And
Oh yeah.
that energy to the person. If
Yeah.
you to the person that you send love and send that energy to the person that you release it as we're going to receive it. And then there's also a move that I like to do a lot that you kind of come up and bring your hands up, then you turn the hands, turn those first, and then breathe out to a T. Yeah. And then come down to a T, you come up, and then you give your favorite person a hug.
Oh, we'll go up front.
Yeah, hug your favorite person and then down. So if you know somebody that's going through a difficult time, if you know somebody that you can also give them a qigong hug and send them some love and send them some energy, and that will also benefit it.
Like a Wuju posture, hugging the tree.
Yes, you hug the tree, or you can hug your favorite person.
Yeah. Awesome. Wow. What a pleasure. We sit down and we talk about different things, but when I talk to Carlos, and I say, what would be the subject? He's like, oh, you got to talk to her about qigong. You guys are gonna go off on qigong. I'm like, yes, Karen. Let's talk about qigong. Let's talk about qigong. Let's spread the word. Let's share. And I mean, and you are a practitioner that with like 4 years of experience, incredible stories from the patients and in the VA, and incredible asset to have around. So
well, thank you.
whatever it is that you have in your online classes, whenever you're ready to teach, let me know. I'll sign up and I'll invite the people because it transforms.
It will be soon. It will be soon.
Yes, it transforms. For me, it's incredible. It really changed my life. It really did.
Me too. Me too.
So how about your family? Did they get into it or anything? Your kids, or they start practicing as well? Was that something that kind of like permeate to the family, or not really?
A little bit, not as much, but a little bit. They're definitely aware of it. They're definitely what I do. And they're definitely, when they're going through stress, they definitely take the deep breath and do some of the movements. Did they
Yeah.
practice today? I don't think so. you know, you know, they're in their 20s they're trying to figure out life. You know how it is when you're in your 20s trying to figure out life and all
Yeah, I
that.
dragged Lucas a couple times. Well, maybe then more than a couple times. I drag him out there, but he needs to go through his own process.
But they're aware of it. And they know what I do, and they know the benefits of it, and they're aware of it. So they use it when they need it.
When they need it, that's what I tell him. I say,
Yeah.
whenever you need it, you're gonna know what to look for.
Yeah.
Here's the tools. You may not happy, doing all this breathing and all of this stuff right now because you want to do something else. But when he gets into it, or when he got into it, he's like, whoa, you
Yeah.
know, it works. So yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
I've had action from them. Yes, definitely.
Well, it is a pleasure to have you around every
Oh,
time that we are, in the circles. And I was talking to Solange, and I mean with other people, other friends that we have in common, to be able to start recording the conversations that we have that are important tools, and then we keep on repeating those conversations. And then, I mean, like, if we record it and we share with our children, with our loved ones, with the other women that is out there, they will know that we're here as a support system. They will know that they will have some tools, like we offer several tools. And Solange spoke about so many different things too last week. And being practical, like with our share, with our teachings. And if anyone has any questions or he wants to reach out, just, like, write it down in the comments. And we are here to grow and to learn together. So I am extremely grateful that have reunited with you in this
me too.
journey, and that, like, we are part of so many small things that are part of a collective, and you
Yes,
always found the circle. It's beautiful.
it is
Beautiful. An honor. Thank you so much.
wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. It's been wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, we finished here for today, and then we see you soon next week, and we're going to be keep on talking about health, mental health, emotional health, and bringing practical tools for our daily lives that we can help our lives to be much easier in these hard times and in this process. Thank you so much. Thank you for being with us. Namaste.